Hey guys, Umar here for Architecture Daily Sketches, and thank you so much for your engagement with our previous video. This week, our topic is line weight in sketching. Now, line weight basically describes the weight of the line in terms of how heavy or dark or thick it is against the background. In sketching, it's very useful for showing depth and dimension. Now, I'll be showing you guys some of the principles in line weight that I usually use when I'm sketching, but I will try to keep things really simple. Now, usually I would limit myself to 3 line weights. Line weight is incredibly varied, and you can have a multitude of different line weights to describe multitudes of different things. But I usually use these 3 line weights when I'm out sketching. The first one is a really fine line that I usually use for details, like window frames and sculpture and relief and tiles. The second line, a medium line, is usually for the general face or facet that describes the object, and the outline is used for drawing the outline of the object itself and also some protruding facets. This line is really important because it really helps to show the depth that you need to make the object pop out of the sketch. Usually the fine line would be a 0.1 pen. This one is usually 0.3, and this one I'm currently using 1.0. But sometimes I even use a really thick line like this brush here to really emphasize the depth, but I won't be using this for now. Now say for example I want to draw this folded piece of paper on this paper plane. First, I would draw it in fine line to describe it. Now, this is where line weight really comes into play to bring in the depth. Because if we are to correctly communicate the state of this object, we have to see where the edges touch. Like for instance, this middle edge here is the combination of these 2 planes of the paper, so they remain fine. And the edges here, even though they are the edge of the object, it touches the ground plane, so they also remain a fine line. Now these edges, when we are viewing them, the edges meet an empty space, the background or the sky, so that one we would thicken. And once we do that, we get a sense of the displacement of this facet of the object, and it makes it seem more 3-dimensional. Now I'm going to move on with a slightly more complex object. Now say for instance I have an object or structure that in plan looks like this, and in elevation it looks like this. Now, we can be sure that we can outline the edges around here because these edges are touching empty space or the background. So we can do this. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, since the legs of this object does touch the ground, we should keep the edges that touch the ground, a fine line like this. So it shows that it's on the ground. If we outline the bottom of the legs as well, it is implying that the object is actually floating. Now, what about these three little facets? Since we are viewing it from this direction, we can tell that the edges around here would actually touch nothing on these sides. So we would outline it like this. So you can see how using different line weights really does help to capture the depth and the 3D qualities of an object. Try it out with your sketches, guys, and you can see your sketches almost come to life. If you like this video, please thumbs it up and share it with your friends. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram, the links are below, and if you're new here, please subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.